Radio's Sports Center.
Well, last night in the All-Star game, the National League won in a swing-off 4-3 as Kyle Schwarber went 3 for 3 in his homers at bat. In the NFL, CeeDee Lamb was ranked as the 4th best receiver in the league by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler's poll of NFL coaches and executives. And in the NBA, Dylan Harper done for Summer League.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That goal is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me, however you may be joining me, whether that is 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in listening at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're watching live on YouTube. I appreciate all y'all for watching on YouTube. If you're not, you can go there and watch all of our shows live on YouTube. Just go there. Search SA Sports Star. Go ahead and like, subscribe while you're at it. You can comment along with the show, like Ms. Becky and Fred Records already in the chat. You can do that with all of our shows, whether that's the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob from 6 to 10, the Blitz from 2 to 6 with Jason and Joe, or right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure. And as I said, Dylan Harper shut down for the rest of Summer League. As expected, 2 games, they've seen enough. They shut him down. Has nothing to do with injury. They've just seen enough. Other NBA news, Bradley Beal officially bought out by the Phoenix Suns. He will be signing a 2-year deal with a player option for $11 million with the Los Angeles Clippers when he clears waivers. So Clippers, Kawhi, Harden, Beal, they're trying this whole super team thing, and they got one of them at quite the discount with Bradley Beal coming off of that buyout. So that's going to be very, very interesting. More on that. Plus in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb, 4th best wide receiver in the league, question mark. We'll get into that. And Micah talking about his contract earlier today coming up next. But as you heard the guys talking about to close the Blitz, did Major League Baseball stumble across something last night in the All-Star game? And does that need to be applied moving forward? Well, first having a crack at that conversation this morning was AJ and Rob on the Morning Huddle as they were talking about the swing off at last night's All-Star game.
How about the Major League All-Star game?
I didn't see the end.
Oh, really?
Man, 11:15.
Yeah.
Dude.
That was a long night.
They could have cut out the pregame and I'd have been fine.
Would have been fine with that,
just
Tim.
gone right off at 6:59.
How do we feel about the way that they decide the All-Star winner?
It's an All-Star game. I don't care if they win it by the best juggler. Just finish this thing. I mean, I don't care. Yeah. Sure, it sounded cool. I wish I'd have stayed up to see it, but it's an All-Star game. This is a made-up, fabricated, who cares kind of thing. And, they add that extra weight by we have to have a winner to see who hosts game 1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's in itself silly. I have a problem with that. But sure, why not? We could do it with races. We could do barrel races with pitchers and catchers. We could do whatever you'd like.
It's basically, for those who didn't stay up and see, it's basically a home run derby. Each team picked 3 players. Each player gets 3 swings to hit as many home runs as they can. And whoever hits the most home runs wins. And it's been in place since 2022. This was the first time we got to see it. But we did, and it was kind of cool, and it gave us an all-star game hero. Kyle Schwarber, 3 swings, 3 bombs. And by the way, Kyle Schwarber,
I'd already seen him go off.
It doesn't even look like he's swinging hard. He's just like, all right, I'll hit that one out there.
Well,
that one out there.
Dude was dialed in
all
night long. So, yeah, the right guy did it.
So yeah, pretty. I think it's a cool way to decide it. And
so if you like this, you have no right to bitch about soccer and the penalty kicks.
I don't
And
care
you have
about
no
penalty
right.
kicks.
But there's those. It's kind of like
I just think penalty kicks is like the easiest thing in the world. Like,
well, I mean, Schwarber would agree. The 3 pitches, 3 homers, dude. Yeah. So,
well, let me see one of those soccer guys hit a home run.
Well, I mean, or let's see Schwarber kick it past a dude.
I bet he could.
Probably. But I mean, for those that argue that, hey, this is a silly way to end any kind of sporting event. Let's just take away everybody else and just see if some guy can kick it through a net. You have no right to bitch.
Yeah, well, especially in an all-star game.
Now
I don't. What I don't want
is this to be the average end.
Or like in the playoffs, you end a game with some made-up thing.
Shoot, I would finish with the All-Star game. I would go at 3 hours if it's tied. I don't care what inning we're in, what pitch count there is. At 3 hours, we're calling it. This is an All-Star game, and if we have to go to home run derby, we'll go to that. But it's silly for an All-Star game to go till 11:15 for anything. I know it's not a school night or anything like that, but it's after midnight on the East Coast. Yeah. I mean, there's just not a lot of people up that late. You have to be a true fan to sit through a 5-5 tied in the 8th inning, which has really been a pitcher's battle with just a couple of dingers from Schwarber, to kind of keep things interesting. It was not a fun game. It wasn't like, a fan. It was fun if you like pitching and you like the technology part of the robo ump, which I think is worthy of some discussion. But after all that, I was done. I wish I'd have been able to stay up and see the end of it.
My favorite thing about the All-Star game is mic'd up players, like talking to players during the inning. Like I loved the inning that they had with Clayton Kershaw when he was pitching, and he was like, "I'm going to give him cheese here," and then he rears back and goes, "Ha!" And then he's like, "What did I get up to about 89 there?" Like, woo! And then he asked, it's 2-2, and he asked Smoltz, "What should I throw here?" Smoltz like, "Cutter inside." He's like, "I don't know a cutter, John."
That's why you bring Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, that was intriguing to me. Like I love that. I don't want I don't want them to decide games like this in the playoffs, obviously, or even in the regular season. I hate that there's ghost runners and extra innings in the regular season. Like I don't like when you change what the game is like fundamentally in extra innings or in overtime. But for an exhibition, what a cool way to finish it. Yeah. Like I'll take it every time in an exhibition. Absolutely.
And for me, it's such a dichotomy with baseball because they are the quickest to adjust to the fans. They really are. I mean, we're bored. The games are too long. All right, pitch clock.
About time.
So I mean,
I don't know if they're quick. It took them 100 years.
Well, no, but under the last 10 years, they're quick. I mean, we got pitch counts now. The pitch clock. They're what else have we done? Eliminating the shift. They're doing things to be fan friendly. They have been proactive because they did get stale. But you do risk being kind of clownish if you change on a whim over and over and over. I think everybody agreed this was great. I didn't know it had been around since 22, and it'll probably be 10 years before we see it again. I mean, to see a tie after that, I get it, but I would be for shortening the game. Nobody wants to play for 4 hours. The players don't want to be there. I mean,
look, by all accounts, the players loved the swing off. They thought it was great, and while AJ may not want to see it in the regular season, I do, because that ghost runner on second is awful. Whether you're stretching a closer for one more inning, which is tough enough as it is, they're not used to working with traffic on the base anyway. So now they're already out of their element. Now you've put them even further out of their element by doing it. In the postseason, play it till it goes. But you see it in overtime all the time. They were talking about on the blitz, whether it is soccer with the penalty kicks in non-World Cup, non-big tournament events, then they'll just play till there's a winner. Hockey, overtime, shootout, then they'll play till they get a winner in the regular season. We got college football with the 25-yard line, then just going for 2 every time. Like, we already have it in all of these games. I don't know why we're so resistant to this change. It was fun. It's better than what we have now. And it does help to shorten the game. The other thing that I really liked was the ABS. The automatic ball strike system worked. And much like tennis, it needs to be implemented sooner rather than later. It works. Pitchers know when they hit the corner or not. And I believe they were 100% last night on the pitches they actually challenged. So, yeah, those are a couple of changes I do think Major League Baseball really needs to, because right now, I'll tell you, I hate the extra innings the way it currently is constructed. And I don't even like watching it. So finding a way to bring viewers in, to retain viewers into the post extra innings, to keep them up later to watch the end of a tie ball game like that. Unless it's postseason, in which you just, if it takes 18 innings, it takes 18 innings. And you've got utility players throwing. But it brings a youthful exuberation to the game. It modernizes it. And I think it helps its overall state in a game that had fallen behind, but is quickly looking to kind of speed things up, catch things up, and get back into the conversation of being one of those big three sports again. Because 3-4 hockey and baseball flip-flopping over the last few years, I think baseball's made some attempts to really get themselves right behind basketball again. And let's face it, it's football, or it's the NFL, it's college football, it's the NBA, and then everybody's fighting for that spot behind the NBA right now. And I think Major League Baseball may have stumbled onto something that can really help them, especially when you're talking about 162 game season, and just makes it eminently more enjoyable for a regular season Thursday night game in June or July or August, as we're still getting through towards September, October baseball, which is what most of us are truly waiting on. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. We'll take your calls on that. Plus, Micah spoke at his, well, he was getting his jersey retired by his high school alma mater and hosting a camp at the same time. And he spoke on his contract situation. Where is he? How frustrated is he with the process? And what do we expect as we get closer to training camp? We'll discuss and let you hear from Micah coming up next, right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the second annual Back to School Drive, Saturday, August 2nd from 11 till 1, or while supplies last, at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-age children while supplies last, so don't be late. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Sponsored in part by Las Palapas, Array, the College of Healthcare Professionals, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can make me feel like a spectator in my own life.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for those with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine preventive treatment.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor, visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com, or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
It's back to school season, and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team, we can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox Disinfecting Wipes, teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on Experience Beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Payoff via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thank you to those of y'all watching on YouTube. Fred Villarreal said he enjoyed it. He thought it was cool. I enjoyed it. Ms. Becky said she would have been up for them playing Uno after the game. Would have ended in some fights, probably. Uno breaks families, much like Monopoly. And look, I love what they did, and I compliment them for what they did. JGR says no world in which the NBA is ahead of Major League Baseball. Come on, bro. Look, I thought Dodgers-Yankees World Series last year was two of the biggest teams and most powerhouse names in Major League Baseball. Absolute boring series last year. So, I mean, it is what it is. Baseball has suffered some staleness over the years, and it's fallen behind. But NBA's starting to fall behind now, in my opinion, because it's getting hard to watch these 20-point leads disappear and these massive runs every team goes on with the lack of defense being played. And look, it worked for Major League Baseball. They had 7.2 million viewers last night, which was the most watched All-Star event in sports. I think that can translate to regular season baseball. With the changes that they made to the All-Star game. Look, the WNBA All-Star game is about to implement some cool aesthetics coming into this year's WNBA All-Star game. They're going to introduce a 4-point circle, like old Rock and Jock Major League Baseball. Or, yeah, Rock and Jock Basketball, Rock and Jock Baseball, if you remember that from MTV. I'm here for it. I don't think it needs to be a part of the actual game, but I'm here for it for the All-Star game, and could spice up the All-Star game coming up for the WNBA. And maybe the NBA needs to take a look at something like that, because you want to talk about a boring All-Star game. That is nothing but a dunking 3-point contest with absolute zero defense being played in that one. Defense is being played in the NFL. Not as much as some would like, but it's still there. And Micah Parsons is one of the best defenders in the NFL. And the edge rusher, still waiting to get his check. Earlier today on the Blitz, Jason and Joe were talking about Micah, who spoke at his camp about his contract situation and if he's been fretting about it or not.
Micah Parsons. I'm not sure. When I heard this interview, Jason, I thought maybe he was a little salty You disagree, but I thought he was a little bit salty, and I don't know.
I didn't take it away that he was salty at not having a contract yet. I didn't take it as he was frustrated, perturbed, whatever word you want to use about the contract.
Salty.
I thought it was salty about the questions because he's tired of talking about it. But he was doing an interview up at his high school camp, wearing all Penn State stuff, but his high school jersey was retired. It was a big deal in Pennsylvania. And there was so much talk about his contracts. But even for Micah, I mean, he went to OTAs and everybody was surprised by that. And he said, dude, I still got to go to work.
Because to me, I know God got my back. He took me this far. He's not ready to be done with me. And I see the strength and the will he keeps putting inside of me. So, to me, I'm not really fazed by anything. I'm going to just keep doing things the right way and let everything play the cards how they're going to be dealt. Like, things is going to play out how they're meant to play out. I don't think there's anything you can to do to change someone's mind. Things are going to play out the way they're going to play out. So to me, I just try to do everything's right.
What I love about Micah, he was pretty even keel there and just, rolling with the flow. But if you're a Micah Parsons, you're going to get paid. I mean, that eventually. But I think the saltiness or the frustration, if there is any, comes from the fact that he's going to be asked about this in front of every interview. If he comes to camp and gets in front of a camera, which he may not do, or wherever he goes, that's the question that's going to be asked. Every time Jerry Jones gets in front of a camera, Stephen Jones gets in front of a camera, that's the question that's going to be asked. And that's the frustrating part, I would imagine, for a guy like Micah Parsons, certainly for us in the media, because we're trying to figure out why this hasn't been taken care of. And you want us to talk about football, then don't give us a reason to talk about football and not somebody's contract.
Well, and again, I mean, saying all the right things is something that he's doing because, there are a lot of contract talks. They haven't affected him yet.
I just worked harder. Like, to me, I look at it like if people don't see your value, you don't cry and lay up. Like, you just work harder. Like, you got to show people your value. I just think that's the difference. I just work.
Just work. And look, he did. He got out on the field during OTAs and worked.
Now, one of the more interesting answers he gave from what is an obvious question, and we've done it here. We talked about it a lot yesterday when we heard what TJ Watt was asking for. And you see, a bunch of other edge rushers are up. Is he following all of their situations and waiting? And, essentially he said, no, I'm not really.
Nah, because they numbers got nothing to do with mine, and my numbers ain't nothing got to do with them. Like, I'm younger. Hutchinson's coming off an injury. Like, everyone's circumstances is completely different. Hutch is coming off his third year. Usually guys wait 4 years. So it just all depends why. I mean, he's up there with Miles. So, it's different. Everyone's circumstance is different. Like, we're all different.
And he's absolutely right. The fact that he's only 25 years old, this is going to be his first big contract, is a plus in his side, because what TJ Watt is asking for reportedly is outrageous for a guy that's 31 years old.
Although it's right in line with what Miles has, right? So I mean,
he ain't as good as Myles Garrett. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, TJ would beg to differ, and again, he's next, and that factors in. Although, how much does that factor in for Micah Parsons?
Not really, because I was finna get mine no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, the markets change every year. The salary cap went up another 18% this year. So it really, if you want to know contracts, all the contracts are based off of the percentage. Like, each player, high paid player, takes a percentage of the salary cap. So it's not really the number. It goes off by the salary cap.
Well, the salary cap's going to continue to go up. There's no doubt. But look, he's going to get his. I'm not worried about him. That whole I'm next thing, I mean, it didn't work for Brock Purdy. I mean, what did he get, $53 million?
I'm
just saying, I think NFL owners are coming to a point where that he's next thing is they're going to push back on that a little bit.
I think for Brock Purdy, where was he at when he signed, when he's next? I mean, because nobody surpassed Dak this offseason, but I mean, when Dak signed his deal, he was coming off a season in which, I don't know, he was second in MVP voting, right? That gives you a lot of leverage when it comes to becoming the highest paid. Mike is going to be the highest paid. The question is it for, 15 minutes for 2 weeks or for an entire season? And at some point, as Micah said with the salary cap that goes up every year, what might not be a great deal in year one could be a great deal in year 3 or 4 if you're looking at percentage of cap and how it's structured. But then again, you got to get David Mulligetta and Jerry Jones together, or whoever's handling the contracts for the Cowboys, because, as Jerry once famously said, he doesn't even know who Micah's agent is.
I mean, I just stay out, let David handle all that. And I mean, to be fair, Jerry's a businessman, you know what I mean? Let him handle his business. His son and another person usually handle contracts. So, that type of thing wouldn't surprise me too much, to be honest.
Huh. Well, you got to give Micah credit. He maybe a political career after his football career is over, because he's saying all the right things. There's no doubt. I wouldn't be worried if I'm Micah Parsons. I mean, look, he's already made a pretty good amount of money. He just wants that generational money and his future, and make sure that that's all squared away with the guaranteed money.
And he does. And he's going to get it. And he's going to get it from Jerry. If we know one thing, Jerry's going to pay. It may take a second, but I do think this is a deal that gets done in training camp. The only hiccup may be he could potentially be waiting to see if TJ Watt or Aiden Hutchinson or Hendrickson, see if one of those guys happens to maybe move the needle of where the money is before he signs his. And that may be the only holdup. TJ Watt, that's the only one that could potentially surpass everything that could rework the numbers in his favor. Other than that, it's a deal I could easily see being done when Jason and Joe are down there in Oxnard with Rob and AJ and the entire San Antonio Sports Star crew as we go to Dallas Cowboys training camp presented by AA Best Bail Bonds coming up here in just a couple of weeks. And when it happens, we'll be right on top of it, as we'll be live right there on the tennis courts. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. What you got to talk about when it comes to whether it's Micah's contract, maybe it's the All-Star games. Adriel called in. Adriel, welcome into Extra Innings with pleasure. My man, you want to talk some All-Star game?
Hey, what's up? Hey, guy, I'm all excited with a big smile. I finally got in. I finally made the time to call in. Hey, earlier when you were saying, I thought you were going to throw in a product placement. Earlier, I thought you were going to say I love Extra Innings with pleasure, but I hate the way the current MLB Extra Innings is set up. I thought you were going to throw in there.
Nice.
I thought you were going to throw that in there. No, I guess we're probably around the same age. Hey, but around baseball, when it goes to extra innings, when I was younger, and my dad took me to a game, and it was a 16-inning game without the California rule and all that. I thought that was a fun day. So what's changing that? Is it like when you go to like when I go with my son to a Spurs game and it goes overtime? Like, that's fun. So is it the younger generation that's getting a little bit tired of the 4-hour baseball games, or I guess where's it all stemming from? Is it the younger generation, or is it just people got things to do?
I mean, part of it's the younger generation. Also, is just part of it is lack of attention span, and that goes on us too. I mean, our phones give us so much information. If a TikTok video is longer than
distraction
60 seconds, we're skipping to the next video now because everything is smaller consumable bites, and that's just the way that we have been trained to ingest media these days. It's less long form, more short, quick, to the point. And it's unfortunate because I also remember those long extra inning baseball games, seeing like a center fielder or a second baseman have to come in and pitch because they use their entire bullpen throughout the extra innings game. But if you're going to change the entire dynamic of it, at least change it in a fun way, because starting a runner at second completely undoes everything that baseball is, because whether it's a reliever, whatever it is, they're not used to coming in with traffic on the base for the most part.
Okay.
Because a lot of the times when you're going from the 9th to the 10th inning, you're trying to stretch your closer one more inning to see if you can hammer this thing down, right?
Okay.
In most
Yeah.
instances. But when you start a closer with a runner on second, that's usually something that is not in their normal wheelhouse. They're used to coming in with the bases clean. So you've already changed the entire dynamic of the game with that extra innings. And by the way, all you got to do, either take one to the other side of the infield, sacrifice, bunt one over, or whatever, and then sack fly one, and you've got the run across the plate. It's so much easier to get that runner in extra innings that it kind of denigrates the whole point of what
So you would
baseball
rather have.
is.
So you'd rather have just something else implemented besides that?
Yeah, because at least with a swing off, it's fun. Both teams have the same chance, 3 swings. You pick your hitters you're sending up there, and you give it a whirl.
I see what
And
you mean. And then
at
for the
some
average
point, you're going to
fan,
run out of hitters if it continues to go.
right?
But I
And I
thought
think there's
last
just
night did you watch last night's extra innings?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So it was a little bit more intense, a little bit more flavor or whatever. I see what you're saying. So yeah, no, I like what you're saying. I just think, is there maybe less seam heads? Because I remember back in the day, like if 4 of us were going to,
definitely less seam heads in the world.
that's what it is. Because I remember back in the day, we were going to Astros Yankees game. Everybody in the car was a baseball fan, and now I see what you mean. Like if Dad's taking everybody to the game, like Dad loves baseball, but the other 4 people are like, man, Dad just drug us to a 4-hour game. So it's just, I see what you're saying now.
I mean, you go to a game, it's an event, it's a party, you're going to get beer, you're going to eat the wacky food, and there's a baseball game going on while you're there. But that's a lot of the reason why a bunch of these stadiums are trying to do everything they can to enhance the fan experiences. If you remember when we went, whether it was the Astrodome or whatever it may have been, it was just a stadium, some concession stands. There was a place to buy souvenirs and seats.
Man,
now you got to have seats that are comfortable with clear sight lines, and there's got to be stuff on the jumbotron. Like there's got to be all these extra things involved to keep the younger generation. And it's not just the younger generation; even the older generation is turning into that.
That's what it is.
With
You
their
nailed it.
attention spans.
That makes me feel better. So yeah, I'm gonna just one more point and then I'm gonna go. But just because you're saying that, it's so funny. I have a 5-year-old. His name's Ezekiel, and I told him, did you know when they hit a foul ball, we went and tracked it down, we would get a free snow cone. And nowadays, these kids won't even run to go get the foul ball. They're like, I'll just tap to pay to buy a snow cone. I don't need to go run for the foul ball. So,
Why am I gonna run when you can just?
Yeah. Yeah, he thought it was, my 5-year-old thought it was so exciting, but my 12-year-old was like, that's dumb. I'll just Apple Pay it and just get it myself. I'm not gonna run for a foul ball. It's like hilarious.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick here, Micah is funny because like if you and I were gonna get like a $2 or $3 raise next February, we'd be all excited, like counting the dates for it, and then we're all intense about it, right? But Micah sounds all calm. But I guess if we were gonna get $200 or $300 million raise, we would sound calm also, right?
I mean, there's a calmness which, to be honest, I'm kind of shocked as it pertains to Micah Parsons because he's the last person I expected to handle this as well as he has through the media, knowing what he's been like on his podcast in the previous years. But you see what Terry McLaurin's going through up in Washington, and he's voiced his frustrations. You see what Trey Hendrickson's going through with the Bengals and TJ Watt with the Steelers even. And Micah's handling this the right way because I believe he knows he's going to get his money. It's just a matter of when. Jerry always pays. Even when Dak broke his leg, he paid him.
You're right. Dang, I can't believe that. You're right, man. Well, man, one more, and then I really appreciate you. I know sometimes y'all are just, I know you're just doing your job, but sometimes, like if it's a bad day, up day, down day, we're going through, like you say, some, loved one or mourning or just anything. It's so fun. It's so fun to listen to you. So y'all are like, you're like medicine. You're just doing your job, but to us, you're like medicine, and it's real. It's real. It brings smiles to our face, even if the day isn't a smile. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate what you do. And just real quick, Jason, I'll never get a chance to like mail something in because I just won't do it. But one of these days for Jason's birthday, if you could, he's not listening to this, so it would still be funny if you did it. Like for his birthday or Christmas or whatever, and one of his gifts, if you just you wrap a gift and just wrap a card that says cash considerations, and then you just give that to him as a gift one day. And I wanted to make a shirt. But like, cause how he just the cash consideration mind boggles him. So man, I'd love for you to give him an envelope, and then just when he opens it in the card, it says cash consideration. He would love it. He'd be so mad at you, but he would love it.
I appreciate it, Adriel. Man, thanks for the kind words. You're welcome to call back anytime, my man.
Okay, blessings later. Take care.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's an attention span thing, and it's the younger generation, the iPads, et cetera, but we find ourselves doing it. I find myself doing it. And unless something is truly engaging to me, I find myself swiping if a video is too long and I can't make it to the end of it. And it's unfortunate, but that's where our attention spans and media has started to go. And sports is playing catch up with that. And it's about ratings. It's about viewership. And a lot of times they have to change what they're doing to fit the masses. And the masses like short, concise, to the point. And I'll tell you what, I think Major League Baseball found something last night, especially with that automated ball strike system. I thought that worked incredibly well. It's been working in tennis. I think it's something that Major League Baseball needs to implement very soon. Coming up next, though, SEC Media Days are going on, which means the Blitz got their Longhorn Insider on. That's right, Bob Ballou with a special announcement, too. Coming up, you don't want to miss it. Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
George gets justice. The accident wasn't your fault, but now you're facing pain, bills, and uncertainty. You don't have to do it alone. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they listen, explain your options, and fight for what you deserve. No upfront costs, no stress, just real help when you need it. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
You work hard to provide for yourself and your family, and that's why identity theft is so scary. Not only does it pose a threat to your financial well-being, everything you've worked so hard for, but it's also a danger to your family. Even children can be victims. It's not their money thieves go after, obviously, but their social security number. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Act now and save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to billshappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
Bills Happen is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to billshappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
Come check out the new Lion and Rose Dominion location with the Blitz tomorrow. The Blitz will be broadcasting live for the Harley-Davidson Javelina Bike Night. We'll have food, vendors, tons of giveaways, including your chance to win Queensryche tickets. Take advantage of the great happy hour specials, $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a long list of $5 appetizers. That's the Blitz tomorrow, starting at 2 at the Lion and Rose Dominion location off I-10 after the Dominion exit.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate everybody for rolling through tonight. We'll take you up to the top of the hour. SB night. So, sports world. You get to see what Shane Gill is all about with his hosting duties. If he can pull it off tonight. Some big hosts to live up to when it comes to that. But there's a lot to get into when it comes to college football. SEC Media Days going on. Mike Elko will speak tomorrow. We'll bring you that on the Blitz at 2 o'clock. But yesterday, Steve Sarkisian spoke. So our man in the streets, Bob Ballou, KITV, Longhorn Insider, he's in Atlanta for those SEC Media Days. And with how Steve Sarkisian got brought on stage accidentally by the SEC and what they say was a harmless mistake. Well, we had to do the same thing when the Blitz spoke to Bob Ballou. Here's a little bit of that interview earlier today from the Blitz.
You didn't do that, did you, Bud?
Wow. Yeah. Well, it's only appropriate, isn't it? Wow. It's our Texas Longhorns segment. So, of course, we're going to play the Aggie War Hymn.
Oh, Greg Sankey said today it was an honest mistake. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports. Starting a guy that's used to being introduced with the Aggie War Hymn is Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin and new host of the Stampede podcast coming soon to wherever you listen to your podcast. What's up, Bob Ballou, live from Atlanta on the Buyers Barricades guest line?
Congrats, Ballou.
Thank you. I just literally started laughing out loud when that came on. I was like, they didn't really just do that, did they?
I told you we would.
I know. I just forgot. It's so good. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for the nod there. I'm very excited. We can talk about that a little bit. But this is this is like okay, here we go. Like we're off. Like football's back. Like this is like the official kickoff of it. And man, for Sark to not even realize that's what was happening is even better. I mean, he had no idea.
He had no idea. I can't imagine that. What? That's crazy.
He's got his stuff. He's focused on what he's going to say. He's not thinking about whatever. And he walked out there. I mean, like people were laughing. He didn't know why. I don't think he didn't realize that's what it was. I don't think he knows the Aggie War Hymn. So,
Is that the level of focus that Sark is instilling into Arch Manning and this team about blocking out the outside noise and focus on the task at hand?
I mean, just such a perfect analogy, right? I mean, it was the ever-present, like, boy, here's the Aggie trying to get this thing in, and then we don't worry about that stuff. It's all the outside noise is gone. But I will say this. I will say one thing about just him in general. And one of the reasons I think it's worked for Texas and why it continues to get better, his messaging is the same. Every year, he's consistent in his message. He's consistent in what he wants from his team. He's consistent in everything he does on that front. And I think that's what it's just a different deal. And I think that's why, players, when they're a freshman, are hearing the same message when they're a senior. It's a lot easier to believe in what you're doing. And then when the winning comes with it, it makes it even easier. So
Well, Bob, and Jason and I were talking about this a little earlier because, if you listen to all the predictions, Texas has already won the national championship. Arch Manning is the Heisman Trophy winner. It's just it's already said and done. Now, I know for Sark, he's going to block all of that out. But when you've got young players, 18, 19 years old, and they hear that stuff, and they do, it's got to be a difficult task for that coaching staff to keep these guys focused on what they need to do.
Yeah, I think it's a great point, Joe. I think one of the things that's interesting is how many starters Texas lost. And then you're just like, well, they're going to be the number one team in the country start the season. And it's like, I heard, I love Peter Burns. You guys know Peter well, UTSA and all his connections to San Antonio. And a couple months ago or a month ago, he said the SEC runs through Texas now. And I just couldn't disagree with that more. And I say that because they lost to Georgia at home last year. They lost to Georgia in the SEC title game. This league runs through Athens, Georgia until somebody beats them. So, there's something to be said for that. With the transfer portal, all these teams, when you're trying to figure out who they're going to be, right now it's impossible. Like in a couple of weeks, I've got to do an AP poll. How do you even begin to figure out who you're going to put at the top of those lists, other than Penn State returns a lot of players and they were really good last year. What you do is you go back, and this is where it goes for Texas. You believe in what's happened. You believe that the recruiting is good. All Sark cares about one of the big points for him has always been development. The development's been great from seeing what they've had in the NFL draft the last couple of years. You believe in what he's done. So now when the next group comes in, you believe that they're developed and that they'll play well. Nobody knows. I know we never knew. I get that. But you're at a point now where nobody knows when you add in the transfer portal, all these teams that don't have the same quarterback coming back from last year or have come in from a different school. Oklahoma's probably the best, to me, one of the best examples of this, because they were 6-7 last year, and then they bring in John Mateer from Washington State who can run and throw, and they brought the offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle with him, and now you're like, well, who's Oklahoma going to be? I don't know. Does it work? I don't know. You just don't know, and so I think you just have to look to some of those things that, well, obviously Arch Manning is I think we've all seen glimpses of who we think he's going to be. He'll be fine. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to make mistakes. He threw 2 interceptions against Louisiana Monroe. He's going to make mistakes. But you believe in the product that you see, the development that you see, and then you have to go off that. And I think that's why Texas is getting the hype it's getting. But they've lost 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen, lost their quarterback, lost Jaden Blue to the Cowboys, lost Matthew Golden as a first-round pick, lost Isaiah Bond. Gunnar Helm was their offense is totally new. So until you see it, you don't believe it, but you believe in the talent, you believe in the development.
Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin and the new Stampede podcast joining us here live in Atlanta here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I want to kind of follow where you're going as an AP voter because I hate preseason polls because of what you just said. Ryan Eagle loves to say we just don't know, but
I taught you well, Bob.
But again, it's in that Ken's 5 Kool-Aid apparently. But when you look at it, the preseason poll, they're all about debate. So are you looking more at projections this year or what they did last year? To me, how you finished last year, that's how we start this year. But Phil Steele's magazine, some predict the Longhorns, some Oregon, a couple Penn State, and Ohio State, I think, was in there. And you can't have everybody picking the same thing. That'd be boring.
Right. Yeah, I think, and I haven't, just to be honest, I haven't done any kind of deep dive into some of these teams. I need to, our poll, I think, do at the beginning. I know, do at the beginning of August. So, I've got a couple of weeks here to kind of figure some things out. But going back to what I was saying, I think you believe in coaches. I think when you start, if every year in college basketball, when you look at the top 25, the majority of those teams are going to be Bill Self and, it was Mike Krzyzewski and Roy Williams. And it's Dan Hurley now. It's you believe that coaches are going to bring in talent and then those coaches are going to coach those players really well because that's what they do every year. So you see the same teams at the top of the list every year. I think that's what it's going to look more and more like in college football right now. But there are people who will look at, I'll give you an example. People look at Georgia, and if you don't believe in Gunnar Stockton, a lot of people won't look past that. And they'll just say, I don't think Georgia's going to be as good because they lost this and this, whatever. They'll just be like, Gunnar Stockton's not. I don't believe in him, so we're just going to put them at 15 or 20 or whatever. Like, my hope is that everybody does kind of more of a deep dive into what the roster looks like. But like for Texas, I mean, I'm going to have a hard time putting Texas number one. Just my initial thought on it, because of what they have to replace. It's not to say they won't be there, but the whole point of a preseason poll is to talk about college football. Like, it's so that we all go, well, how could you put them there? How do you? It's the best part. It's the best part of it. Like, everybody gets to have their opinion and their say and whatever. You do your research, you try to figure it out, but in the end, you're kind of guessing like everybody else is in what you believe in a coach, what you believe in the players they've brought in, the upcoming talent, and then you go from there. I mean, that's why I think Penn State, if I'm not mistaken, Penn State doesn't lose a ton off of last year's team, and I think people will have them in the top 5 because they finished, in the semifinals last year.
If you want to hear that full interview, head to the Audio Vault at sasportstar.com, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. Bob Ballou, new host of The Stampede with Vince Young and Mac Brown. Get it everywhere podcasts are, starting July 23rd when they drop their first episode. So all you Longhorn fans, be sure to check that out. It's going to be great. Mac Brown, Vince Young, Bob Ballou, chopping it up, talking Longhorns. The Stampede podcast on the Texas Longhorns premieres July 23rd everywhere you get your podcasts, and that includes YouTube, Spotify, Apple podcasts, all that stuff. It is brought to you by Buyers Barricades Guest Line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. When we come back, we'll put a bow on the show, get you ready for a big day tomorrow without sports, but there's always something going on. We'll talk about it when we come back right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. Our pets are beloved family members, but sadly though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the GPS directions first before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate all y'all for riding along with me tonight as we take you up till 7 o'clock. Remember, Jason and Joe will be live out at the Lion and Rose tomorrow from 2 to 6, the new Dominion location. So get out there and see them if you get a chance. Enjoy $2.50 domestic drafts, $5 appetizers, just really good stuff. Plus, hang out with the Blitz guys. Hang around, have a drink with them. When they get done off the air, it'll be a good time, I promise. Now, one of the things that happened at SEC Media Day that we've talked about that hasn't really been talked about enough, in my opinion, is Michael Taft, one of the senior captains, walk-on safety. He wore a tie. And on the tie, it had the embroidered initials of all of the victims from Camp Mystic from the flooding in Kerrville. And he actually spoke yesterday at SEC Media Day and gave a very powerful message about the meaning behind his tie.
The tie has the initials of all the victims at Camp Mystic that passed away in the Texas flood at the Kerrville County. And most of these initials are 8-year-old campers that were at Camp Mystic for the first time ever, and they were there to just have fun and praise the Lord and be there for summer. And they lost their lives in the floods and fighting for their lives. And then two of the other initials are the counselors of these girls, and they lost their lives trying to save these campers' lives, and they risked their lives trying to be heroes. And I wanted to shed light on everybody that passed away. And the last one was the camp director who went back into the floods to try to save some of those girls' lives, and he risked his life and lost his life saving people's lives. So these girls and this camp director should be remembered as heroes, and I just want to shed light on something that's way more important than SEC Media Day, way more important than anything, way more important than the game of football.
Powerful. Congrats, bravo, Michael Taft, for bringing light to that, shedding light on the heroes that they were. And I've listened to that soundbite, cutting it up, playing it back 15, 20 times, still goosebumps right now hearing it. So like I always say, as we end the show, call those that you love. Let them know you're thinking about them. You never know what people are going through, especially recently with the developments that we've had here in Central Texas and the Hill Country. I love all of y'all. Thank y'all for listening. We will see y'all tomorrow right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure. Don't forget, kick off your morning with AJ and Rob on the Morning Huddle, 6 to 10. And then, of course, join the Blitz out at the Lion and Rose Dominion location from 2 to 6. We'll see you here tomorrow on Extra Innings, 6 to 7.
94.1 FM. Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure. Dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a